Hello everybody, it's me again, and this time with some exciting news. The module 14 Ravenloft being released for the review, and I'm really excited to see everything, explore everything and show it to you guys. So from the start I can see what they reworked the character list, which is absolutely amazing. I have been waiting for this change for so long. I have tons of characters and all of them are really spread, so it's always really hard for me to scroll down and actually choose the character I want to play, the class I want to play. So this is going to be saving for me some time and trouble. So now they add an option to sort by. You can either choose to last play date, level, class, name, created date. And you have also an option show main at top always. I'm not sure how they are going to choose which character is actually a main character. Is it the one which you made first? Or is it the one which one you play the most? Or how it's going to count? Well, we will see in the future. So let's log in and see what else we got. So I have been reading some patch notes, and I read about the bank changes, the raw Astral Diamond changes, and some new items and the new map. So let's see with the bank first. So they reworked the shared bank, and you can actually transfer the Astral Diamonds right now, and also tokens for companion upgrade, which is really great. All my companion tokens are on my main character, and that actually stops me from upgrading the companions on my alts. So this is how it works. You can either deposit or one drop when you log on in character. That's really nice. The other thing which they have changed is the Astral Diamonds. The downside to it is what you can transfer only 100,000 of Astral Diamonds. The raw Astral Diamonds you can refine only 100,000, and it's account wide. That means no matter how many characters you have and on how many characters you run the daily dungeons and gain your raw Astral Diamonds, you can only transfer 100,000 a day, which stops us from grinding the dungeons on multiply characters and gathering more Astral Diamonds. Well, I really don't like this change, but I was expecting with new modules some downside, like always, and this is it probably. About the other changes, we got a new campaign, which has a weekly howl as well, which I like a lot, because you don't need to log in every single day and grind the daily quests. So you can engage only a couple times a week and enjoy your game and grind to all the weeklies at once. So you're gonna have to go through all the as it shows to unlock the new dungeon, the Castle of Ravenloft, which sounds really interesting, and I can't wait to actually play it. Tonka deck. I have no idea what's that. That's probably related to hunts. Well, this is a very weird system, and I'm going to explore this a bit more after I check the new map. And I promise I'm going to actually make a video just about hunts. This is really interesting. Now we got some new items as well. So we got new weapons. Sun Orb. Your damage and healing are increased by 5%, while in Barovia your damage resistance and run speed are also increased by 5%. While in Barovia, during the nightfall, your damage resistance, healing and run speed are increased by 10%. So this is the weapons mainly focused on the new map. That doesn't sound too intriguing unless they work in a dungeon as well. Two pieces of set is 500 defense and 500 movement. Well, this is absolutely awful. So it's going to have the same item level as the weapons we have right now, the same as Primal. But these weapons doesn't look like you can actually exalt them, so that's a downside to it. But the bonus is awful, so there's no. So now we got some necklaces and belts as well. When you have shield or temporary HP, your power is increased by 1000. Well, that doesn't look so bad, but I think the mod 13 masterwork pieces are much better. Whenever you hit an enemy with a critical attack, the damage the enemy takes will be increased by 1% for 5 seconds. This can stack up to 5 times. So this should be quite good. Quite good for the support classes, if that. It's supposed to work as a debuff, I guess. So if it works like that, it's going to be nice for support classes. When you dodge, block, sprint, or shadow slip, your power and movement will increase by 5% for 10 seconds. Intelligence and Charisma. So this is the set they gave us for control wizards. I mean, are you guys joking? Can you all ever give us something nice? We haven't gotten anything nice since the Valintra set. This is awful. When you cast a damaging AoE but it only hits one target, the target will take 5% damage, 5% more damage for 5 seconds. Well, this looks nice as well. The stats are a bit off, but power, critical strike, and movement. Why on earth we need movement? And Blood Revenge set. When you cast a healing area that only hits you or one ally with target power, and recovery will increase by 5% for 5 seconds. How does it supposed to work? So you just focus on one person and ignore everyone else in your party to trigger the bonus? Well, these sets are just ridiculous. So, and we got some new armors. So when your healed is 50% or more, your critical strike is increased by 1500. When your healed is below 50%, lifesteal is increased by 2000. Power, recovery, and defense. Well, it seems like we are still going to be using the Rex Corona. When your healed is 50% or more, your power is increased by 1500. When your healed is below 50%, defense is increased by 2000. So we got a bit more stats, and the bonus is not so bad as well. So at least the chest piece is not too bad for Control Wizard. I'm not sure our other classes are going to trade the chest piece we got from hunts with percentage of damage. It doesn't look worth it. But for us Control Wizard, it's a bit lighter breath what we get something out of this. When your healed is 50% or more, your armor penetration is increased by 1500. When your healed is below 50, deflection is increased by 2000. Well, another awful piece. So it's the same after when your healed is 50% or more, your recovery is increased by 1500. When your healed is below 50%, movement is increased by 2000. Well, this looks not too bad, but I'm still going to keep my entering boots because this can't beat the 3% damage. So this is the belts and necks we already looked through, I guess. Yes, we did look through all of this. Now the new artifacts. So launch forward and deal damage to enemies in any line, dealing 12,300 damage and increasing each target's damage taken by 8% for 8 seconds. That doesn't sound too promising to me. Maybe on mobs, but not as deep as class, that's for sure. Pull 3 hide cards from the target deck to select. Selecting the card will cast its power on nearby allies or enemies within 60 feet for 5 seconds. You can learn more about the hide card powers in your deck box. So that's what the box is about. Well, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look a bit more into that, and I haven't looked at this stuff before, so it might take a bit of time till I figure out how the things work, and I'm going to make another video about it because I'm the same new to this as you guys. So we got more hunts. Let's take a look at the hunts items. The start of combat, you will summon the dead to help you for 30 seconds. Has 2 minutes cooldown. Well, the stats are not too good, and the bonus is not too good as well. Transmute is awful as well. The next piece, Crown of the Undead. When you use a daily power, you pull all nearby undead towards you and increase the damage they take by 10% for 10 seconds. Well, this doesn't look too bad for the support class, I guess. But it's only for undead, so doesn't look promising either. When you use a daily power, there is a 1% chance that you will be stunned for 5 seconds. What that's supposed to mean? Who would ever choose this piece? Who even came up with this piece? When you use a daily power, there is 1% chance that you will be stunned for 5 seconds. Who would want to get themselves stunned? Somebody got extremely creative this time. When you use a daily power, you knock back all nearby undead 30 feet and lower their speed by 25% for 10 seconds. Also defensive stats. And I see this module has a lot to do with undead, because every single piece is related to undead. Equip 1500 defense, minus 2500 recovery. I'm not really understanding the purpose of these items. Why did they actually make these items? Why do we need so many defensive stats? Why would we choose defensive stats and lose the offensive ones? For the first minute you are in combat, you will gain 175 power every 5 seconds. If you stay in combat for longer than 1 minute, you will lose 250 power every 5 seconds, to a total loss of 3000 power. I'm not sure what's going on. Like, all those bonuses sounds backwards. Like, why would we wear items to lose something? To get stunned? 1500 armor penetration, minus 2500 recovery. Another piece where you need to sacrifice more stats. And the item stats itself is really low. Well, if you have really low armor penetration, what happens if you don't have 2500 recovery? Do you go into minus? Like, you're just gonna have on your stats minus 500 recovery? How does it going to work? At the start of combat, you will call out for help, summoning the help of nearby guards for 15 seconds. It has 45 seconds cooldown. Our critical strike, armor penetration. Another piece with a lot of armor penetration. And these hunt items have quite high item level as well, but it doesn't look too useful. When your stamina is full, you take 3% less damage. So that would be maybe nice for the tank who is completely focused to tanking. But everyone who is related to damage finds completely no use into this. Another one is... well, this look not too bad. 1500 power and you lose 2500 defense. You gain, it's more power, critical strike and armor penetration. So that basically makes you the chest piece for 3000 of power. So that's not too bad for DCs or paladins. 10% from insignia bonus. Transfer your defense as powers, so it's extra 250 into loss. So it's around 2,800 of power. That's not too bad. I'm going to consider this one for my DC. In Borovi, daytime 1,500 armor penetration, nighttime 1,500 deflection. Everywhere else 500 armor penetration, 500 deflection. Why? The only question I get every single time I read the description of item is why. Recovery and why these items have so much defense? Does the new map going to hurt us that much, or what's happening here? When your companion is 50 or closer to you, you gain 1,500 power. When your companion is further than 50 from you, you gain 1,500 defense. So it's almost, if your companion is close to you, it's almost 2,500 of power. That's not too bad as well. For sport classes like DC or Paladin with the power share. But I'm not looking too positive it is. Another piece in Barovia, daytime 1,500 power, nighttime 1,500 defense. Everywhere else have 500 power and defense. So in any other map we would get around 2,779 power and some extra defense. So this item does look nice for a DC as well, but as a DPS I'm not sure I would be willing to go for it. I would need to look it out. It's a couple times more to make a decision. And I'm not sure those bonuses in Barovia, do they count in a new dungeon as well, or it's just in campaign map while doing quests? Because switching the armors for the quests all the time, it's no point for it. Puppets plate. In Barovia, daytime 1,000 power, nighttime 2,500 power. Everywhere else 750 power. That doesn't look promising at all. This looks like completely useless item. Your run speed is decreased by 15%. Another question, why? Why these terrible stats and terrible bonus? I'm confused and shocked and not sure what's happening. Are they giving us just a bunch of transmutes or what's going on? When you use a daily power, your target will be poisoned for 5 seconds. And it has 2,444 power. Which doesn't sound too bad for a DC after all. As far as support, I would actually like to have this piece on my DC. And I'm going to be checking it out soon when I actually log my DC. The start of combat, you will be surrounded by a ring of lucky trinkets for 5 seconds. if you pick up all the lucky trinkets before they disappear, you will gain 1500 power and defense for 15 seconds. I'm not sure what's happening here. So in the middle of the combat, you get those trinkets summoned in front of you, so you need to quit everything you're doing, ignore the mobs and everything. You just need to run and pick up some trinkets to get the bonus. So until you actually pick up the trinkets, everything gonna be dead, and the bonus is going to be completely worthless. These items are really weird. I hope the rest of the mod is not as weird as these items. If you take damage for more than 10% of your maximum hit points in single blow, you gain 5% deflection for 10 seconds. I'm not sure what... I don't have words to actually describe this and what's happening here. It's hard to believe what these are the real items, the actual items. Let's just head to another place. A region requires the restoration of sun weapons. So the new weapons are also need to be restored. That's a not so nice surprise. I don't really enjoy grinding and restoring stuff. So I guess that would be it for this video, and thank you everybody for watching. I'm still kind of stunned by all those items and the weird bonuses they came up with, and soonish I'm going to be making the video for the new map and the guides for the quest lines and explore a bit more around. So thank you everybody, and bye bye.